Alex, for some reason, the Amy Winehouse Halloween decoration from Neil Patrick Harris's Christmas party, that would have been funny, Halloween party, has been recirculating in the ether of the internet.
The internet. Okay.
So if you're unfamiliar with it, this is from a Halloween party. This is from 2011.
Okay, I didn't even read half of that stuff. I just looked at the thing down there. And I was like, "Is that a cake?"
Okay, so yes, there's a lot
that's how I messed up this whole thing.
There's a lot of misinformation about this. Alex thought it was a cake and that it was recent.
Every word of what you just said was wrong.
It is not a cake. It is a meat platter, like a cold cuts, or I'm going to say like a charcuterie board, perhaps.
Okay.
I don't believe that this part of it is what was edible.
Okay, so I'm guessing like anything beyond the upper body portion.
I think this was like some kind of tray.
Okay.
Because people also say that there's pictures of it, but there aren't any pictures. It's this. I would love to see more pictures of this, but there aren't.
Okay.
Because it's very hard to get any kind of perspective on what, aside from this thing on a pan.
Yeah, so since there's no actual other pictures of the actual, I guess, meat or barbecue or whatever stuff, you kind of are just like, oh, it's
not 2024. We want
it's basically kind of like a you just got to take their word for it, I suppose. 9 months ago. Okay, so it was just the single image.
This happened 11 years ago, but kind of got brushed under the rug.
Okay.
Served a meat platter of Amy Winehouse that was made to look like her corpse, and it was labeled "the corpse of Amy Winehouse." It's really bad. So that's what happened.
Okay, so it got Streisand, but effectively Streisand. Since it got kind of barely even noticed.
Well, I remember when this happened. I do. This is not. I do remember. I'm surprised we didn't talk. Well, 11 years ago, I don't remember if we were talking about it at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we were recording. I don't think we had a show at that point.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Point is it's interesting to me how this is kind of getting recontextualized. It was always going to be tacky and in poor taste. It's one thing to do a Halloween decoration of a anonymous corpse that's just kind of and you can make it gruesome. And I mean, frankly, the barbecue idea that you keep expressing sounds way more disgusting than a charcuterie board.
Well, I started off with cake, and you said it's not a cake. And I'm like, okay, it's barbecue something. I thought that maybe it was like, I was thinking it was like maybe a combination of pulled pork in a sauce or some sort of brisket.
That's so much grosser.
Like a barbecue brisket cake.
You made it even worse than what it
I made it tastier. Because now they're just like, oh, it's just a meat platter. I'm like, show me the beef. Where's the meat?
But the thing is that the important tidbit about this that I think is getting lost is that if you die in a funny way and you're a celebrity, you're just going to have to roll with the punches. And the reason I define Amy Winehouse as falling into that category is simply because she made a song about how you can't send her to rehab.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no.
Amy had no vomit in her throat or in her lungs, or she didn't die of organ failure. She died of alcohol poisoning.
All bets are off. I'm sorry. Like it's sad. If you're her family, totally, but you can't publicly be like flaunting your addictions and then overdose and expect popular culture to just kind of be like, oh, R.I.P. Amy Winehouse. And that's a little bit of detail that's missing from the chronology of how this happened. It's different than, say, for Bill Maher after the crocodile guy got killed by the stingray. Do you remember this?
I remember. I don't remember what Marr said. I just remember.
It's not what he said. He had a Halloween costume, probably the same, like 3 weeks later. Of let's just
dressed
bring
up as
it
the
up.
hunter with the
Yeah.
stingray.
Mm-hmm. I need a new chair. And I will say, oh, there it is. It's tiny, but I need a new chair. This is too squeaky. So this was like, a few weeks.
Oh my
a
God.
few days. It's funny. This looks like the mass production Evangelion models. But that's what the fuck?
Why would they even? I mean,
But this was outrage over Bill Maher Halloween costume. This is from 2006. So
that's crazy.
So it's
Dead for that long.
it's this is also tacky and in poorer taste. But I can still see why people would be like, "Oh, he's a public figure. He died in a strange, vaguely
surreal
accident that's related to his job."
The irony of which is that since he was the crocodile hunter, he got taken out by a stingray of all. And that, I think that was actually the first time that anybody even knew that stingrays had like that poisonous barb.
Yeah, it is.
Because you're just like, how did you die from a stingray?
Yeah.
And it's like,
and he's like, well, I'll tell you why.
put your finger up there.
I would say that Steve Irwin's death is less approachable for humor because of Steve Irwin being very sincere, very interested in conservation and all of that. And so his death was more tragic innately because of like how he was perceived, at least. I don't know what he was really like, but how he behaved and how he like portrayed himself versus portraying yourself as a drug addicted walking disaster and then dying as a drug addicted walking disaster. It's just a different perception. And the people tend to think more like, oh, well, they kind of did it to themselves in those situations. So while it is a tacky, stupid, poor taste thing to do, it's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. It's not bad enough to be dragged back up 13 years later and everyone would be like, Neil Patrick Harris is a bad person. You can think of other reasons to say Neil Patrick Harris is a bad person. But in particular, this, it was just
it was just a weird decision for him to make like a meat platter out of Amy Winehouse, it's just kind of weird where somebody's thought process was in that whole thing.
It's just gross. And not even Halloween gross, but just like
gross.
Yeah, do you have like no self-respect?
Yeah.
It's positively unsophisticated.
Do you think Steve Irwin would have made made to become like a cheese platter or like a bagel box if he was in a similar situation?
No, like Vegemite.
Ooh, Vegemite. You know what? I really want to try Vegemite and Bovril. I need to go to
I don't know what the other one is. Bovril?
Bovril is something. Vegemite's Australian, and Bovril, I believe, is more of a British thing. It's like some sort of beef. I think it's like a beef bouillon or something like that of that sort. But I those are two things I definitely want to try. That okay, actually three things: Bovril, Vegemite, and then the third thing is the stuff from Scotland. I keep forgetting what that stuff is called. Haggis. I want to try haggis really badly.
Yeah,
I know you can order it in a can. I know they sell it in a can on Amazon, but it's just,
it's not the same.
Everything's fun is illegal, Like drugs.
There's this version of the meme with sorry mate, reef's closed today. I'll be sure to look for another time. Like I've seen this one, but there's another one where it's him going back in time to kill the stingray, and then he's like, he wouldn't want it this way. So even if
I've let you down, Steve.
yeah, even in death, I think that you can do like that. Like that stuff's cute and nice and respectful of, but still poking fun at what at tragedy. And I don't have a problem with getting humor out of tragedy. I think Bill Maher is just kind of a trashy human being, and so that's how he did it. Again, I don't like it, but I don't think it's like the worst thing. It's just, I think it's easier to just be like, that guy's gross. I don't want to support anything he does. Oh, Neil Patrick Harris is gross. These people are just gross celebrities.
Yeah, they also don't bathe or wash their hair, so yeah.
Don't know where that tidbit came from, but
they don't watch their backside either.
I'm gonna write that down in my.
Celebrities don't wipe their backside.
Oh, this just keeps escalating.
It is.
Now it's not just wash; it's wipe in general.
It's just these people are just disgusting. Just put on some Balenciaga and just go psh, psh, psh with the Dior, and off to the red carpet we go.